Hello everyone, it's Shy Guy 768. Welcome to the first ever episode of the standard deck tech series. First off, I want to explain what this deck is. It's standard Bant clues is what I'm calling it. It's built around investigate and milling through sacking those clues that you get. And yeah, that's basically the gist of the deck, and there's a whole bunch of control added into it. But let's get started. So this is the main board. We run 4 Reflector Mage, which just bounces something to the owner's hand and prevents them from casting that same thing the next turn. So until the next turn, your next turn, sorry. And that it comes in real handy with things like Avacyn, Archangel Avacyn, and Duskwatch Recruiter, and things like that. Other things that just, are really powerful that you don't want on the field. And then we have 4 3-man Inspector, so this is basically the one drop we want to play every day, every turn. Yeah, every day. The first turn of every game, we pretty much want to play this if we can. There's only 4 of them in the deck, so it's not like completely possible to do that every game, but if you have it, you want to play it that first turn if possible, because that just gets you so far ahead with Investigate. By like turn 3, you can have several clues on the battlefield if you just lay 3-man Inspectors, and you can then lay Fleeting Memories and then start sacking those clues to start milling them 3 every time. So that's why 3-man Inspector's in here, and it's a pretty decent blocker for the 1/1s in the format. Next we have Bounding Crisis. It's just a way to tap down or untap a creature that you have tapped. It's basically used to tap down creatures like Archangel Avacyn, big heavy hitters like Ormondal and things like that, to just flash in and tap them so he can't attack. So they can attack, and that's basically why he's being ran in this deck. Other than the fact that he is a 3/3, so he can block pretty good too. But yeah, that's basically what Crisis is in here for. Next we have Bygone Bishop. So Bygone Bishop is a 2/3 with flying, and whenever you cast a creature spell with converted mana cost 3 or less, you investigate. So this is very important because, as you can see, all the creatures so far are 3 mana and less. So everything in this deck you cast creature-wise gets you a clue if you have Bygone Bishop out, which is why I think this deck works, because you can create so many get so many investigate triggers, create so many clues, and then you can just start lay a Fleeting Memories and start just milling them out like super fast. Like there's not really anything that can compare to milling like with the clues. Even like a Delirium mill deck with the Manic Scribes and stuff still wouldn't even be fast enough to beat this deck, because by turn 3 you can have a few mill triggers the next turn, because you have at least 3 clues on the battlefield from almost every creature. So that's why Bygone Bishop is in here. He's one of the most important parts of the deck, and we run 4 of him as well. So let's get on to the next part of the main board. Now we have 4 Tireless Trackers, which are a necessary thing to have in this deck, because whenever a land enters the battlefield, you can investigate. And we run things like Evolving Wilds to get us 2 triggers and get us more tokens to sack and mill. So, and whenever you sack a clue, he gets a 1/1 counter, so he gets even better when you sack a clue. So that's why Tireless Tracker's in here. Very important, very it's like needed to win the game, because you can't really win the game through damage with the other creatures. You need Tireless Tracker to win the damage way. If milling's not working, then Tireless Tracker's the way you win. Now we move on to Void Shatter. It's a Dissipate, if you remember that from original Innistrad. Yeah, I don't think I need to explain that even more. It's just a good counter. It's one of the best that there's ever been. So that's why it's in this deck. Next we have Fleeting Memories, which this deck is basically built around. When it enters the battlefield, you get an Investigate trigger, which is awesome, so it gives you a free clue. And then whenever you sack a clue, target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. So with this, you just want to get as much clues as possible and then sack them as quickly as possible and mill your opponent out before they even know what happened type of thing. So Fleeting Memories, this deck's built around it. That's why there's 4 copies in this deck. Now we move on to Ojutai's Command. It's a 4-drop instant. You can choose 2. Return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, which can actually happen because some of the things are actually 2 or less mana of the creatures. And then it also has an ability you can gain 4 life, or counter target creature spell, or draw a card. And you can choose 2 of those. It's basically Cryptic Command, a fairer version. Sort of like Cryptic Command, I guess. The most I use this for is like returning the creatures and drawing a card. Countering creatures is good too, but 4 mana to counter a creature is where it starts getting a little iffy. That's what we have the Void Shatters for, is for creatures basically. But these can also counter creatures as well. But it's mostly to gain life, draw cards, and return creatures to the battlefield. Now we have Tamiyo's Journal, which we run 4 of. Just 5 mana legendary artifact that at the beginning of your upkeep you investigate. Pretty straightforward. Gives us a clue every turn that helps with Fleeting Memories out. We just keep sacking the clue that we get if we can only have 1, which shouldn't be hard to get more than 1. This deck easily gets up to like 12 clues within a few turns because there's so much investigated in this deck. Also, with the Tamiyo's Journal, it's a key part of searching for Fleeting Memories if you don't have them, or your counter spells, or your tireless trackers. Something you need to win the game. You can stack 3 of those clues and search for a card and put that card in your hand. And also tap Tamiyo's Journal. And you just get the card in your hand that you need. It's a tutor on an artifact that doesn't really require anything in this deck because we have so many clues, like I've been saying. So that's why Tamiyo's Journal's in here. Now we have Confirmed Suspicions. It's a 5 mana counter spell. That's not really why I run it. I run it because it investigates 3 times. 3 clues off of 1 spell. Just completely amazing in this deck. Also, the fact that we can counter something as well is awesome also. Alright, so now that is the main board. Let's move on to the land base. So we got 4 Evolving Wilds, which work very, very well with Tireless Tracker. They give us 2 triggers off of the Investigate from Tireless Tracker, and also give us a land in the graveyard just in case there's some sort of delirium thing. But there isn't delirium in here, so we don't have to worry too much about that. But 4 Evolving Wilds, and then we have 4 Prairie Streams and 4 Canopy Vistas, because those are like basically the cheapest lands right now, dual land wise, and they fit pretty well in this deck because oftentimes the first couple turns they'll come out untapped because we run mostly basics in this deck. We often have more than 2 basics out when we get to lay one of these, so they come out untapped a lot of the time. Then we just run the standard basics for Bant, the island, plains, and forest, but we run 5 islands, 5 plains, and 2 forests. We don't really need too many of the forests because we can make green mana in other ways through Canopy Vista, and then we can search for with Evolving Wilds if we really need to. Well, that's the land base. Now I will show you guys the sideboard. So the sideboard for this deck is pretty straightforward too. It's only 5 cards. We have Clip Wings as the first card. Just basically helps us with anything that flies. So the Dragon Lords, the Avacins, they all have flying, and this just basically is a kill spell for anything with flying. Because oftentimes there's only 1 creature with flying on the battlefield, because nowadays in standard the flying creatures that people play are legendary. like I said, the Dragon Lords and then Avacyn. So sacrificing a legendary creature really helps us. Then we have Graph Mole. Graph Mole is awesome for against almost every deck. It just says whenever you sack a clue, you gain 3 life. It's also a great blocker. Having the ability to gain 3 life every time we sack a clue, when we're sacking like 4 or 5 every turn, that gets us a crap ton of life and keeps us ahead and alive to last out the rest of the game. Then we have Sphinx's Tutelage, which comes in every single game, I think, because it's another win condition through milling. Whenever you draw a card, they mill too, and then if they hit, if they're both non-line cards that share color, then they repeat the process, and then it also can draw a card and discard a card by itself. This combined with Fleeting Memories is just an insane keep on milling machine, because between the two of these, they can mill upwards of 10 to 15 cards every turn, which would take less than 3 turns to kill them by the time you get these things online. And then on the same note, we have Startled Awake. I only run 2 copies because this is an expensive spell to run, not money-wise, but mana-wise. And it's really hard to recur with how fast Standard is nowadays. But the fact that it mills 13 right off the bat for 4 is awesome. And then we can get it back if we want to, but oftentimes it only takes one cast to basically put them out of their misery, and they basically concede after that because we can just keep milling and milling and milling and milling through the clues. And then the last card in the sideboard is Declaration in Stone. So it is a 2-mana exile target creature and all other creatures its controller controls with the same name as that creature. And then they investigate for each non-token creature exiled this way. So, yeah, they get a ton of clue tokens if they have a lot of the same card. But this wipes out all tokens. This wipes out multiple of any creature and just helps us get rid of mass board presences. And that's why we run 3 of those in this deck. But that's the Bant Clues deck that I run. I made this deck up myself. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up, this video, and comment down below saying you liked it. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe to me on YouTube at ShyGuys768. Make sure you do all those. But until next time, keep on gaming. We'll see you later.